So here we have, this is a small egg from our silky hen. This is a pretty large egg from one of our regular hens. Now we have this monster hen. She is known only as the giant black hen with no pupils. And this is her egg. Look at the size of that thing. That is massive, heavy egg. Alright, are you ready to crack this thing open? Let's take a look. Actually, let me spray my pan first, because I'm going to eat it right after.
Yeah, I was just about to ask, are you just going to put it on the ground or in the pan?
We're going to eat it. Alright, here we go. I'll do this in front of the camera. Da, 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 da. Oh, 2 yolks. Or 2 big yolks, too.
Oh my god.
Wow.
No wonder.
Those are big.
Imagine if it was a 3 yolks. That'd be so rare.
That's ultra rare. Made it back from the hardware store today. I bought a whole bunch of lumber. These are 16 feet. I wasn't planning on buying 16 footers because, I don't know, it just didn't cross my mind. But I was talking to the guy at the hardware desk and he said I could save a bit of money if I buy 16s and you can just cut them in half if you need to. So I thought that was a pretty good idea. I was pretty happy with the place that I went to. Normally it's just you go to Lowe's and you just take stuff off the shelf and that's it. But no, he helped me load in the truck and everything. It was really nice. So I'm just working in the shed today. I put up lighting. There's supposed to be 6, but 1 light is broken. I put it up and it's broken. But anyways, pretty basic lighting. It's just a wire with these rubber pigtails. And these LED lights are really nice. You know, it's just warm. You can put, yeah, it's like you get a little bit hot, but not used to these LED lights. You know, I should start using them all the time. And here's some of the shelving that I'm starting right now. Really easy stuff to put up, and it just holds a lot of weight. So what I do is I start with the bottom one. I measure to the floor on each side, and then that one's a bit tricky to get leveled. With these studs, I was able to use a clamp to hold it on the wall. But yeah, once you get that first one done, yeah, everything else is easy. So you just use like these jigs. You cut the height that you want. So I measured one of those bins that I have, like a roughneck bin and a Rubbermaid bin, and so that's about the height. It's 17 inches is one of the bins, so I made these 18. So yeah, then you just rest the next piece of wood on top there, screw it on, and then do the next one after that. So it's the next day, and this is the progress that I made last night. Got it all done all the way up to here. So I just have 3 more pieces I gotta cut out, just short pieces. And so I used 12 16 footers in total for this. So that's almost $100 bucks. $100 for the shelving. Not too bad. I was able to reclaim this plywood, so I'm not including the cost of that. And then also nails and screws, I also had that stuff too. Next plan I'm going to do for this space is get new wire from the plug, go all the way around and onto the other side, because the other side is just being powered by extension cord, so I want to fix that. I got my hitch lift fixed. My last video I showed you guys that this thing was broken. Here, let me fold it down, show you what I did. So I did have one of these cables lying around in the shed. So it's a thick enough cable for the winch. And then I just used those two guys there. And I've used it a few times now. It's holding on fine. A mechanism in there that controls how high it goes and how low it goes. I didn't connect that back on. So basically, you know, you can let the whole spool unreel. The main thing is that I really have to watch like how high it goes. See, like right now it's touching it. That's a little bit high. For me, it's no big deal, but for the casual user, they may bring this all the way up, and then what will happen is that you know, it could snap or it could break something if you bring it up too high. But yeah, so I used it a few times. I got that fixed up, which is really handy because, man, oh man, let me show you this. I really needed it today. Picked up 4 air conditioning units, and there's my coffee. Forgot about that. And a lot of copper back there. Also the condensing units for each one of these AC units, and a hot water tank to boot. It's going to be a real nice haul here. So job right now, take these all apart. Let's get all the rads, the ACRs taken out of them, and let's see how much copper we get. It's going to be good. So the job is done. It's the next day. Took all the ACRs apart. 4 air conditioners and their coils. So got a lot of ACR rads here, aluminum copper rads. Yeah, that's going to be a little bit of money. Nice little payday. And all back in the very back here is all the steel. I just had a friend stop by, and he dropped by a couple lawnmower decks for me. He's always bringing me some neat stuff. And also I'm going to bring in this bucket of number 2 copper, insulated copper. These things here are usually about, you know, $5 or $6 each. These condenser units and some motors. My friend brought me a little bit of aluminum, lawnmower. He also brought me this thing. Look, that's a magnet. That's pretty cool. I've never seen a magnet that big before. He said he's been holding on to that for years, and then he just got sick of it, so he's brought it over to me. But yeah, I'll probably keep it. You know, just have it for. I'll put all of my tools on and stuff. But he was saying that this came from like one of the landfill sites that chopped up wood, and so that the wood would go on a conveyor belt, and this would suck up all the nails. So there would be a whole bunch of them, I guess. So that's kind of neat. I'll hold on to that for a little while. Yeah, so it should be a nice little scrap day. Also back here is all the copper. So this is the good stuff. That was number 1. And then we got the brass down there, not too much. That's the number 2 copper. So it has all the soldering on it and all the cutoffs from the ACRs. And this is my number 2 and my number 1 from I've just been hanging on to that. So that's new, and that's the old copper. So I'm going to bring it all in, and we'll get a nice little payday today. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention too, now that I have my hitch lift fixed with the new cable, I'm using these straps, you know, to kind of stabilize this thing while I'm driving. Peace of mind, and also, oh, there's a drone up there. Huh, that was kind of creepy. Nice little haul. Okay, so here's the ticket. Oh yeah, and I also picked up some more scrap from my shop. As you can see back there, more copper. It just keeps coming. The shop is giving me pretty much all their copper that they get. None of the servicemen seem to be taking it from me, so that's awesome. So here we go. Yellow brass, $12.60. Copper 2, $31. Copper number 1, that bucket was $108. That garbage can of insulated wire, $25. That's not 55 cents a pound. It's okay. Aluminum copper rads, all those rads, $122. It's 90 cents. It's a far cry from what I was getting last year. I was getting like $1.25 a pound. This year it's 90 cents. Copper content, $32. I had a small bit of Christmas lights and the copper, the cutoffs from the rads, and those condensing can things, those big heavy things. So $32 for all that, and then everything else was just the little stuff. A little bit of aluminum cast, electric motor, dirty aluminum, and $18 for the shred. Grand total of $353.95. Wow. So she gave me $354. And she also boosted up pretty much everything. So, you know, she added 10 cents for the coppers, and I think she gave me a little bit more for the brass too. Pretty much anything copper, she gave me a boost. The copper content, I think she gave me like a couple of cents more, but she can't really move too much on the aluminum these days. Another day of picking up scrap. Here we go. 3 AC units, 1 furnace. I'm keeping a little bit of space here for this. I'm going to pick up as many 2x4s as I can. There's even some sheets of plywood back here I wouldn't mind getting too. So someone's tearing out their place. Even this ladder is free to take, he said. I won't have room for that. Tables, plywood. I'm going to take as many 2x4s and some plywood. There's all this pegboard back here too. Damn. You know, it's all in a frame, ready to use. Just pallets back there. I picked up all these 2x4s. I've already cleaned off all the nails, so they've all been denailed. There's a lot of 2x4s in there. A lot. And then a few pieces of this thin plywood. It's not that great, but it was free. Oh, I can just hear the camper is just arriving now. He squealed his tires. Hello, AZ Osgoode. All right, next day, let's get a better look at this camper. So the guy delivered it yesterday for me. It was very nice of him to do that. I felt a little bit bad, man, because his truck was on its last leg. I mean, I've never heard a truck sound so bad. It was beyond its last leg. It was like a zombie truck. It shouldn't be on the road. It was, I guess he must have tampered with the idling to have it idle at a higher RPM, because it was idling so fast, you could feel the heat just coming off of his truck. He must have done that so that the truck won't stall out. I don't know, man. And so he turned it off, we unhooked it, we chatted for a bit. He gets back in. It took him about at least 3 minutes to get the truck started up again. You know, it took him, I think, 3 or 4 tries to get it started. Oh, geez, it was bad. And that's his daily driver, and he's planning on moving across Canada to Alberta. That's why he had to sell everything. I don't know what. It stresses me out just thinking about it. Poor guy. So, he said the brakes work fine. He has a brake controller, and he said the brakes work fine. That's why he delivered it, because I don't have a brake controller. Even though he's only 15 minutes away, he said he would do it, so I took him up on the offer. Tires look a little flat, but that's all good. All right, let's take a look in here. So, really not much to look at in here. A lot of garbage and ceilings kind of coming off here. So yeah, he left some stuff in here. It was full. When I went to come look at it, they were using this for storage, and I don't know, man. It's a bit of a pack rat. He had this whole thing full, and he took out most of it. I told him, like, hey, you can leave it all in there. I'll take care of it, you know, because I like looking through this sort of stuff, but he took a lot of it out. He did leave some stuff, including this pack of insulation. That stuff's expensive, 16-inch. You know, when you look at that's about $40 right there. I haven't really looked back here yet, but a box of tile, some clothing, there's a chair, battery box, got some change. It's all American change. Nickels and dimes and quarters. Nice. Making back money already on this place. Whoops. breaking lamps already. So yeah, I could take out the stove, sell that. Looks like there might be a heater underneath that stove. I see a grate there. So there's probably a heater. There might be a hot water tank in this thing somewhere. This fridge though, I really doubt that is, I'm pretty sure that will just be an electric fridge. Looks like a replacement. It's rancid in there. It stinks, but there's no rotten food, but it stinks. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's going to be electric refrigerator. If it is propane, you know, that's 200. But if it's just electric, I'm just going to toss it. We got a wasp. Leave me alone. Let's take a look. Go inside here. Pretty much gutted the whole thing out. I have a big pile of wood to burn over there at the burn pile. That's not going to be a problem. And there's a bit of garbage that I've been dealing with, and I'll probably do a dump run with the truck. I should have been doing dump runs in the past. You know, I did one recently, and it wasn't that much. It was about $50 for the entire truck. I packed the truck full of garbage. I went to the dump. It was like $50. I think that's pretty reasonable. I should have been doing that before instead of trying to put it all at the curb for the other garbage man to take. Yeah, so this trailer here has a lot of soft spots, like right over here. Pretty soft. Yeah, my foot goes right through that. I just took all this linoleum off to have it dry out a bit. This looks wet, but it's not, but it's very soft. So you put your foot right through that. It's no good. This trailer was actually a pretty good deal. I've sold a few parts off of it so far. Yeah, I have a couple of the appliances here. This is the AC DC converter. It's also a battery charger. I have that listed for 150. I have this listed for 100, and I'm getting some interest in both those things. And then I have this toilet. It was pretty dirty. I took some cleaner, I sprayed it all down, scrubbed it with the garden hose and everything. It's nice and clean now. But yeah, this is actually, the date is 2019. It's a replacement part that they put in. And these toilets sell on Amazon for about $220. So I have this one listed for 100. So we'll see what happens there. And there was some other, yesterday I did sell the hot water tank for 50. Someone came and got that. And there was a detergent tank that I took out of here for like the toilet detergent. I sold that for 40. But also from the camper, we went back because they were moving and they were getting rid of a whole bunch of stuff. So they gave us this Chariot, I think it is, or kid attachment bike. They gave us that for free. That's awesome. It's really good condition. And we got a set of tires. They may have one season left, but they're aluminum. So they gave us those for free. This trampoline was actually inside the camper. We put it together. There was only one issue that I had to deal with. Hello, Oceloti. Yeah, there's only one issue we had to deal with. There was missing one pole. So I took this and I banged it all together to have it fit. It's just a straight pole. It works. It's working. That's good. So the kids are having a great time with that. And I've had a few other small things. So camper, definitely worth it. $500. I'm making all that money back. Quick look at what kind of scrap I got today. A whole bunch of copper. That thing. It's crazy. This year, it's been a year of copper for me. And picked up this guy too. That's full of copper and brass. It's a water boiler heater thing. Picked up another hot water tank, and the other stuff is from the other day. So I'm going to be taking apart that later. Right now, his project I've been meaning to get to for a while is put a license plate holder. Probably going to mount it here on the bumper. And so I went to Princess Auto, picked up license plate light. So I'm finally going to get this done because I've been riding around with the plate on the back of this, and there's no light on it. So at nighttime, you know, you're supposed to have a license plate light for it. So anyway, it's going to get that done. Have some shrink wrap, shrink tubing, And I found this piece of steel that I'll probably use. I'm going to mount it something like this. So I'm going to bend it right here at the bumper and mount it like that somehow. The license plate light wire. So I guess I'm just going to cut that and run a couple lines off of that, and good to go. So I'm just going to route the wire all the way over here and probably up through here. Yeah, it should be good to go. I use these guys here. There we go. That's a lot easier to do than soldering a whole bunch of wires together. So I got that little light connected up. Let's turn off all that. Okay, let's see if it's working. Oh yeah, look at that, that's bright. That's nice. Is that other one still working? Yeah, both those are working. Good, good, good. All right, now I can go ahead and finish up my fabrication little project, and I'll show you what it looks like in the very end. There we have it. Just doing it for practicability, not for looks, as usual. I took this plate, I drilled it just down into the plastic, not the metal bumper. I did that because I just don't want the bumper to rust out where those screw holes go through. And this, on the bottom part, I put tape on it because I didn't want the metal to be scratching up against the chrome. And also I just secured it with zip ties. And then I also put wiring, this wire loom, wire protector over top of the wires, and I zip tied that to some of the structure. And then this light, it looks really, really nice. Let's turn it on, make sure it works. Yeah, there we have it. That looks really good. Keep the authorities happy, I think. Main reason why I did this, you know, I take this lift off quite often. You know, I'll take it off if I'm towing a trailer, or sometimes it's just more practical to drive around without it for whatever reason. You know, if I'm going to load up drywall or plywood, stuff like that, it's better not to have this thing lugging around. So yeah, that is done, and finally, it's been a while. The only other improvement that I did to the truck was I put these rails on the top. I spray painted them black. This is just 2x4s, and it's actually really solid now. I like that. So it feels much more secure, this whole box, this whole rack. And yeah, the only other thing I did was, while I was down here, I took a wire wheel. There was a little bit of rust on the body right here on the inside, on both sides actually. There was a little bit of rust, so I went underneath and I wire wheeled the rust off, and you just use some paints, some rust paint I did on the up in here too, because that's all gone. But I will have to, you know, address some rust. There's a little part peeking through, but yeah, I just put some rust paint on there for now. It's just something, at least. But other than that, I mean, there's no other real body rust right now, knock on wood. All right, guys, see you on the next clip. There's that LED, just lights up the ground too.